Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my God, you guys, my face hurts. Um, I have been like, my eyes hurt too. I've been reading, and editing, and it's just taking me so damn long to figure out the direction of this edited video on Scott Peterson. So let me tell you what my thoughts. I was like, let me just do a live and have a conversation with people. Hey everybody, welcome. For those that are coming in, Dee Dee's like, please let's chat about this. Hey Wim, hey Beetle, welcome Renee. I see everybody. Hey Mary Lee, welcome. Pepperoni Nips, welcome everybody. The chat, I mean, it's probably gonna be a slow day. It's all good. You know what I'm saying. As long as I got my people here, it's all good. Welcome. I wasn't going to do a live, but I was like, I have been stuck on reviewing this and thinking out loud about the different things that are happening with this case. You just got the notification, so I'm just giving the people some time to get notified. Y'all, I am. Hey, Miss Janie. Chico just got the notification. Hey, Cheeks. So I'm gonna let the people get in here for a minute, and let me tell you what I'm thinking in my mind. Okay, there's just way too much. Hey, Heidi. Hey, Tinkle Tits. Chat says welcome everybody. I figured. Hey, Becky. I figured I'd have. Oh, Amy's been a member for 16 months. Shout out to Amy. Thank you, Amy, for your support. You said I dropped a. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Cheeks, for the heads up. And then Tony B, no talk Tony. Welcome. You got it on X? Perfect. I hadn't even posted this on X. Did I? Yeah, I think I did share it. I hashtag it. Thank you for letting me know that. I'm trying to like expand throughout platforms. Okay, thank you. Pony Slave, welcome. Yes, love. Hey, baby girl, welcome. Linda's in the house. The good Linda. Shout out to the good Linda. Thank you. Rhiannon, thank you for being here. You guys, Susie Q's in the house. Thank you. You guys, I appreciate everybody here. Thank you. Thank you. Like the click button. You mean hit the like button or like the click button? She put a happy face in there. Shout out to Win. Shout out to Win. All right, we're gonna get into it, guys, because let me tell you what's going on. Okay. And I didn't even think of this, but I said, I should have done this. I'm gonna put it on the Discord. If you're a member, you'll be able to have access to this. Okay. Hey Renee, I see you in the chat. I don't know if I said hello to you, but welcome. Hey Shane. So shout out to the person that emailed me the filings from the Innocence Project that they did on Scott Peterson. I know. I caught that too. Hold up. I know. I caught that too, Tinkle Tits. Welcome. The Witch Share, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a member for 5 months, love. Shout out to you. Thank you. Um okay, Pika's in the chat. Welcome everybody. All right. I don't know what's going on with my chat. Shane just became a member. Shout out to Shane. Welcome, Shane. Thank you for being here. You remember this case? All right. So let me tell you where my mind is at because I'm all over the place at this point. But let me just get to this point. All right. So I've been working on this edited video. I want to shout out the person that sent me the Innocence Project filings. All right. The filings are very intense. And I went in there and I said, oh my God, like, all right. There's so many moving parts to this. And I don't know you guys, but depending on the testing of this DNA thing for Scott Peterson, I could definitely see a situation where this man is exonerated. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't do it. Please note that. What I'm saying is that there's enough reasonable doubt, and that investigation was very shitty if what they're saying is true. Okay? If what they're requesting is true. Yeah. So we have two big documentaries that are coming out. You say he's guilty, Amy, but have you read those documents? That's what I'm going to ask you. That's what I'm going to ask you. I heard, Jen, that today's the 6th anniversary of the Watts. I saw that too. Have you guys read the doc? You guys got to read those documents. There were people that were not interviewed. There were people like I said, I'm not saying that the man is innocent. I'm saying, thank you, Lizzie Mack. I'm saying that people didn't do their job on this investigation. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of questions that I have about this investigation. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Scott Peterson has been sitting behind bars for X amount of years, right? You look, yes, please do. You said even Williams like guilty. I hear you. You said, no, I watched the freaking case unfold. He's guilty. All right. Well, I'm gonna do this to this member. I'm just gonna put this out there. Listen, I'm questioning myself too, and it's like hurting my brain because as I'm reviewing this edited video, I'm going through, I'm gonna drop it either today or tomorrow, just depending on my schedule and whatnot. I've been pretty busy. Thank you guys. Thank you, Susie Q. It doesn't make sense to me that the man who was having an affair with this woman tells this woman that his wife died before she actually died, right? And then she dies. Okay. In the most horrific way, and she's 8 months pregnant, goes missing. None of this shit makes sense, right? Is it a really, like in my mind, I said, wait a minute, how does this happen? Okay, like out of all the people in the world, this man is like, he's having an affair and he tells Amber Fry, hey, guess what, Amber? Yeah, I he was being confronted and pushed to tell Amber about him being married and the wife being missing and all this other stuff. She's missing and she was 8 months pregnant, Amber. And we're just supposed to think that he's innocent. But then if that's the case, right? Like let me stop right here. Why didn't officers do enough in their investigation early on? There's an investigator who was working on this case, and he's now coming out saying that he has questions about the conviction. Yes, that's the thing. Thank you for saying this. It's another case that police messed up. So I'm sitting here. Oh, Wim, you already know I'm going to do a poll. Wim's like, listen, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, all right, is this a situation where the case was messed up and the investigation was messed up? They didn't interview everyone. You have witnesses. You have a witness that was not interviewed that's now in this new filing talking about, I saw a woman wearing black pants. Amy Rocha, who's Lacey's sister, said that she was wearing white pants, right? The day that she went, when she was found, her body, it just doesn't make, none of this is making sense. So witnesses are saying that they saw her alive. A new timeline is needed if the defense is saying this. They're saying she didn't even die the day that they said that she died. I am just like dumbfounded by what I was reading. And then during the time that all of this was going down, Scott Peterson and Lacey Peterson lived across a house that was being burglarized. Okay. The theory of the defense, this is their theory. They believe that she walked into a situation. Oh Lord, hold up. I don't know why these people come over here. Go away. I just had to block some folks. There was a burglary happening at a house across the street. The theory is that there was a robbery happening, or a burglary. I think it's a burglary because a robbery would be in person. So they were burglarizing a house. So it was a burglary, okay? The theory is that she might have witnessed something. And so what they saw, because she witnessed something, they decided to abduct her. There was a van, a Caltrans van that was found that was burned with like a mattress that had blood on it. The blood, and it's presumed positive for blood. Okay. But they don't know whose blood. Oh, Renee, I'm gonna put it in the Discord. So for those that are my members, please know I'm gonna put all these files on the Discord. You guys review them. But I sat there and I said, wait a minute. Police didn't check on this tip. Police didn't interview these people. Police didn't do this. Police didn't do that. And then you have a detective that worked the case that's now saying there's enough reasonable doubt in his opinion, but that's his job to make sure that that they got a good conviction. Let me do a poll. Okay. Let me do a poll. There's so many moving parts to this, guys. I wish I could tell you. And I'm sitting there and I'm like racking my brain. This doesn't make sense. Okay. Uh Scott Peterson. If some of you guys are saying, no, he's guilty. Shout out to Wim. Shout out to you guys. Okay. Yeah, look it. That's a good question too. I'm trying to figure out what do you guys want me to put on this poll? Wim, you asked for a poll. Renee, what should we ask in this poll? I just have so many questions. I don't even know where to start. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Yeah, the burglars were caught and arrested. Then the prosecution lost evidence. Lost evidence. I'm telling you. I don't know if he listen. I think that there's enough to believe that Scott Peterson is guilty, but there's enough to show that these investigators didn't do their job right. They're quoting interviews from investigators that were on the scene and investigating this on News Nation. His behavior, you cannot, and that's the thing. This is why I'm like on the fence. You can't forget the fact that the man changed his hair, had Viagra, $15,000 in cash, and was going to somewhere in Mexico. I'm thinking in my mind, driving. You cannot forget that. You cannot forget the fact that he's canceling his internet service. I don't think it was maybe cable service, whatever. Back then, like none of this is making sense, y'all. And thank you. And then he used his mama's identity to try to like purchase a new car, whatever. Thank you, Priya. Yes, she did. That's why I'm like, I'm on the fence on this, you guys. I really am. I really am. I'm not going like when you read those documents, but then you go back and you're like, wait a minute, Scott Peterson. So you're either a really shitty person that just got caught up on this, but then got scared and then decided that you were gonna, dye your hair and sold her car. Yes, thank you. And sold her car too. So let's say that he's guilty, right? But they still did a shitty investigation, which could lead to him being exonerated. Y'all do realize that, right? No, Wim, I am on the fence on this one. Like, you guys don't even know. I don't want to cuss trouble, but we say guilty and Rabbit says no. I don't know. Well, wait a minute. Let me stop. I'm going to say guilty because he is. He's been convicted. But what I'm saying to you guys is that they fucked up this investigation so badly that there's enough for a conviction. Y'all do realize that. He could be, don't get me wrong, he's guilty. In my opinion, I'm like, some of this doesn't jive. But the way in which the investigation was handled, it's enough to say that this man, there's enough for somebody to say, nah, he's innocent. They didn't interview everybody. They did exactly. He made homemade cement. I read this. He did. Thank you, Diane. On a technicality. That's my concern. Guys, a couple weeks ago, what did the prosecutor do in the Russ case? No, Wim, don't apologize. Wim, you know I love you. You don't need to apologize. Stop. Y'all, like I'm telling you, I'm so conflicted that I go back and forth on this. I'm so conflicted. So I sat there and I'm editing this video. I can't even finish editing this damn video because it's literally bothering me what I'm talking about and then realizing, oh shit, this man could really get off on a technicality. He did. He did. He did. He did. Yes. Yes, thank you. An ocean. Sorry. Sorry, Katie. Yeah, I'm like, my mind is like all the way over here. Yes, thank you. This is where I was going with. Roberta, you just said it. What did we just go through like a couple weeks ago? The Russ trial, right? What did the prosecutor do that fucked up that whole thing? The prosecute we saw it live, right? We saw it happen. She didn't show everything that they had. She got her cocky ass up on the stand, got questioned, okay, and acted like she did nothing wrong. You guys, that's what she did. And what had happened there? They threw that whole case out. That's what I'm talking about. They messed up. If they messed up and it's reversed, it would be like the Alec Baldwin trial where the prosecutors was punished by the judge, but in fact, the victim was punished, no justice. Yes, they are. So that's the thing. And shout out, I think I see Benson. Is it Benson? Benson, were you the one that sent me those documents? I want to shout you out because I think it was you. If you're in the chat, let me know. I think you were the one that emailed me those docs. I don't want to assume. No, Connor. What they decided to name the baby Connor. Okay. Amber, thank you guys. I'll shout you guys out here in a minute. Like my mind is going on 50. Shout out to Benson. Benson was the one who emailed me the docs and said, listen, read them. And I read them. And I'm editing this video, Benson. Okay. And I want to shout you out because, you gave me your stance. You said, you know what? Listen, the investigation was really shitty. Okay. But there's enough to say that something is up here. Okay. And they didn't do their due diligence on this case. I personally, in my heart, feel like Benson, I'm just going to say this. I feel like Scott Peterson is guilty, but I think that he could get off on a technicality, if that makes sense, or he could get off on like the prosecution, the investigators didn't do their job adequately. That's what I think personally. There's enough questions that I have to say this man was this man should have. They need to look into this. Between the burglary that happened at the Medina household right across the street from the Petersons, okay? If they find DNA in that piece of tape that was on Lacey, if they find DNA there and it's not Scott Peterson's, it's somebody else, what now? What now? I honestly think we have. You said in September the DNA results in the tape should be back to the court. That's what I think, right? You guys, this is going to be, it could be Scott Peterson's. It could be Scott Peterson's for all we know, right? But what if it's a third party? What if it belonged to one of the, people that burglarized that house? You said that doesn't erase all the other evidence. Penny, shout out to Penny. Penny's like, listen, Rabbit, look, Penny, but here's the deal. Scott was convicted on circumstantial evidence. We don't have a crime scene. We don't. Go review the case. It's all circumstantial evidence, you guys. All of it. My question is, maybe that should be on the thing. Hold up. If the DNA comes back belonging to a third person, is Scott wrongfully convicted? In your opinion, okay? I should have gone live earlier. Because I'm going to put a third option here. Need to think about it. Okay, if the DNA belongs to a third person, is it, in your opinion, that Scott was wrongfully convicted? Let me start the poll. Okay. Listen, you guys are having deep conversations with me. I'm letting you guys know I am literally I was sitting there and I said, "Nah, I need to talk to my people and talk about this a little bit louder." Y'all go vote. I'm on the fence. I'm going back and forth. That Mommers, that's the question. What if it belongs to one of them? Wynn's like, no. In my opinion, he did it. Yes, they do. That's their job, though, right? Like, if I they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, right? They're supposed to be, causing enough doubt to the situation. See, I don't know. That's a good question, Pearls. Somebody said that the other day too, Penny. What if the DNA belongs to Amber? I said, Lord have mercy, no. I hope not. You said that's what it looks like when you're framed. Benson, can I ask you a question? Are you okay? Can I read your email that you sent? I'm not going to disclose your email address or anything, but I want to read the email that you sent me. Can I do that? Can you let me know? Let me know in the chat. Can I read your email? Because I really like what you said in your email, and it just got me thinking. Okay. So thank you, Benson. Let me look you up real quick. Okay. Um, Shout out to Benson. Y'all drop some hearts for Benson, okay? Because Benson really hooked it up. Benson sent me both filings. But Benson says this: I've done extensive research into this case. This is one of those cases that appears very open and shut on the surface. But once you dive deeper into it, it becomes fairly obvious that not all is what it seems. I 100% believe that Scott is innocent and was framed by criminal gangs. I'm not one of those people that believe most people are innocent. To the contrary, I usually believe they are guilty, and I'm pro victim. But this case screams that he was framed and set up. Many of the reasons people think Scott is guilty is because of the exculpatory evidence being withheld by the prosecution and the police. It's physically impossible for Scott to have committed the murder based on witnesses who saw Lacey walking the dog that day around the neighborhood. The timeline simply doesn't work. The police failed to interview many neighbors and witnesses to Lacey walking the dog that morning. And there's interviews in there, guys. There's statements in those filings that say that they saw Lacey walking Mackenzie that morning, the dog. Okay. The police failed to interview many neighbors. Okay, I read that. They failed to document the robbery across the street that morning and even try to hide the fact that it happened that morning, stating it happened several days after. They hid the orange van, the Caltrans van. Okay. They hid the orange van that was burned, that had blood on a mattress inside of it, found the morning after Christmas near the Peterson home. You know how they found out about that van, guys? It was through a journalist. A journalist did investigation into the van, and it was the journalist investigated the fire chief, the fire investigator at that time. And Benson, if I get something wrong, let me know, okay, in the chat. But that's what I remember. That fire chief has been interviewed by News Nation, by other folks. And he has said, listen, that wasn't tested. The timeline is there. So I sat there and I said, oh my God, okay. All right. Let's keep looking into it, okay? So the timeline simply does not work. The police failed to interview many neighbors, okay? They failed to document the robbery. We got that part. And they hid the orange van, all right, that had blood on a mattress inside of it, found the morning after Christmas near the Peterson home. Benson says, I don't disagree that Scott is very unlikable and shouldn't have been having an affair. I think he got involved in something twisted. I think he got involved in something twisted. that got him in some bad people that was framed. I thought about this and I said, he was asking Lacey to have Lacey had inherited, I think she was inheriting one of her grandfather's properties or something, sale of a house, if I remember correctly. One thing that was found out through the investigation that they did on their finances was that Scott wasn't making a lot of money through his business. Okay. That's the other thing, too. Keep that in mind. And so, what the prosecution said would have been motive, in their opinion, was that, he was in debt. Like the debt to ratio finances was not all the way. So I thought, yeah, that does happen often where, say, like, I don't think they're called loan sharks. I would hate to give a loan sharks a bad name, but if you made a bad deal with somebody, hey, they're going to take out your family, or they're going to take out your something to that effect. I thought about that. I said, what if Scott Peterson got into some hot water? But the problem that I have with Scott Peterson, not only is he shady as fuck, okay, but he's also not disclosing that. I don't want to put that out there if this man hasn't said, like, I'm just thinking in my mind, the cartel, the Mexican mafia, things like that. But he's also not disclosing that. So he's not doing himself any favors as well. After investigating as a journalist, it looks like the mob was going to take out the family if he didn't talk. Why would they do that to this woman and unborn baby? You said, who goes fishing around Christmas with a pregnant wife? Secret life with Amber lied to her as well. Cops on the scene of the home said house reeked of bleach. Yes, they did say that. And he changed his whole image. Car loaded down with the cat. Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Taylor, like, honestly, I'm gonna tell you guys this. Don't believe anything that I say. Y'all go read those documents. Go read the documents. You said he was in. I believe that he might have been, but I also don't think that he's saying that, and that's what makes me side eye him more. You know what I mean? Like, Heidi's like, everybody, innocent people run sometimes out of fear of pending charges. Fear of spending the rest of their life if the people who robbed the place threaten him, etc., etc. You said, look at you. You think he deserves a new trial? I don't even think it's going to go like that. What I'm saying to you guys, shout out to Simply Maniki, says, I feel like he set up a burglary and kidnapping of her to have her killed, and then to verify he went out to the location to make sure it was done. I don't think at this point, I want to see what's going on. Oh my God. So let me tell you what happened, guys. I'm doing this edited video, right? You got these documentaries that are dropping, okay? You said, so I'm doing these edited videos, you guys, and in my mind, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I think he's guilty as AF, but he could get off on a technicality because these people didn't do their job. I think he might be guilty of some things, but I'm not sold that he was necessarily guilty of killing Lacey and his son. I'm so glad that I had this conversation openly with you guys so you guys can see where my mind was at. First of all, I want to thank y'all for your moral support. I'm literally like, I'm racking my brain on this. I can't, like, Benson got me thinking, and these documents. So let me tell you this. If you're a member, please know that I am going to put those documents in the Discord membership so you guys can read them. You read them. You read the filings. Literally, I think one of them is like 100. Well, there was the DA. I'm going to put both of them. I'm going to put what the DA, district attorney's filing, said. District attorney's filing is about 436 pages. And then the response from the Innocence Project is about 192 pages total. I don't want to make up your mind. You guys make up your mind. Look at Monica. Shout out to Monica. She said, listen, I got at the dentist. I'm at the dentist. They made us believe Gypsy Rose wasn't a murderer, right? So don't believe everything they tell us. That's true, Tiffany. Tiffany's like, listen, I had to put this on all caps so y'all read this. Shout out to Tiffany. Tiffany, I got you. I'm still on the fence on a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. There's a lot of questions that it just doesn't make sense. My mind goes like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Benson's like, they covered it up. People investigating are scared of the mob. Evidence excludes that would have completely exonerated him. What's gonna happen? Hey Rhonda, what's gonna happen if new DNA is found? Why don't I look at the polls, see where you guys are at? What is gonna happen if new DNA is found? All right. You guys are still voting. Let me tell you guys, y'all are killing me on this. You guys are killing me on this poll, okay? Kathy says he won't get off on a technicality. He would be tried again. Also, the witnesses said the lady looked like Lacey. Katty, there's statements in the filings. There's statements on the filings. There's a young man. Well, he was in high school at the time. He was 17. He wrote a statement about what he saw and how. I mean, he let everybody know that it was Lacey. I'm not joking. I have the filings. We could look into them right now. You know. He said his house smelled like bleach. He went fishing. He had concrete on his boat. Oh my God, seriously. Amber, I'm telling you what the filing says. Y'all don't get mad at me. Please don't be mad at me. I'm just letting you guys know what the filing says. I told you guys we're going to be looking at both sides. Okay? Please, Amber, don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you everything that's been put out there. There's enough to have, to have enough. I have questions. That's all. Yeah, you said it's all circumstantial. I think you could say it's all circumstantial, all of it. Just don't get mad at me. I'm just reading the papers, y'all. Don't get mad at me. I have a lot of questions. I told you guys I'd let you in my mind of where I'm questioning things. That's all. What does the chat AI thing say? Now I'm kind of curious. Does it say everybody's yelling at Rabbit? Thank you, Amber. I want to know what the chat AI is saying because I'm kind of curious because I'm like, I don't know what to say, you guys. My mind is so confusional about a lot of this. It really is. Let me show you guys. I'm going to show you guys a part of it, okay? Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button, please, and thank you. Thank you, and please support the channel. Thank you, okay? Appreciate it. The chat AI says it's Aaron's fault again. Why? No, Renee, they weren't even interviewed. That's the problem that I have. See, if Carlotta says, listen, if he's innocent, then whoever is guilty has a lot of backing by the powers that be. I don't know, Benson. I don't know. It's a lot of questions. We just having a conversation. Keep that in mind. Hold up, y'all. Let me see if I can show you. So this is one of the exhibits, okay? I'm just going to read a little bit of the exhibit, okay? This is kind of where my mind was stuck. Y'all are loving the chat? All right. Just be nice to each other, okay? I don't want to have to tell people to be nice to each other. So these are just the initials. It says ICH, hereby declare under penalty of perjury that the following is true. Okay. I currently reside in Stockton, California. I'm married and full-time employed. Okay. That's not important. On December 2000, well, it's not important for now, but I want to go to the gist of where a lot of this is going at. So in March of 2024, attorneys representing Scott Peterson contacted me and asked me if I would speak to them about an event that occurred in 2002, around the time Lacey Peterson was reported missing. I agreed to speak to them. So in December of 2002 and early January of 2003, I was 17 years old. This person and I were about the same age. Shout out to them. And I was living in Modesto attending high school. I was a senior in high school at that time, and I was living with my friend Miguel and his grandmother at, is it Tenaya Avenue in the airport district. Before I started staying with Miguel and his grandmother, I was I was in the foster care system. Okay. December 24, 2002 was a school holiday. I rode my bike that morning from Tenaya, where I stayed, to see a friend who lived in a scenic avenue north of La Loma Park. I believe the friend was living at, the address is there. It was mid morning when I went to go see my friend, probably between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. I rode my bike north towards Covina Avenue so I could cut through the park to get to Scenic. The trail that goes down into the park is at the end of Covina, where the street dead ends. When I got to the trail that leads down into the park, I saw a woman wearing black leggings, which is what Scott Peterson said that she was wearing. Or maybe they were sweats and a white blouse. She was walking a golden retriever towards the park. I believe the woman I saw was Lacey Peterson. She was heading into the park at the same time, at the same entrance, where I was headed on the north end of Covina. As I was riding my bike down the hill into the park, I passed a woman and I believe was Lacey and the dog from behind, and I startled the dog. This person startled the dog, causing it to bark at me. I got to my friend's apartment, but I only stayed a short time because of her parents came back home unexpectedly. I think it was her dad. I wasn't supposed to be there, so I left through the back door and led to a patio, hopped a small fence, and got back onto my bike that was parked right there against the fence. Okay. This person had interaction with the dog, all right? Scared the dog. I mean, that's something to remember, right? If you saw a pregnant woman and you're riding the bike, you would remember if like you startled the dog. This is the Penny Lane. That's what's getting to me. It's just imagine having to witness all these years later, right? Just imagine that. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. I think this dog is onto something. You think the dog is onto something. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, let's keep going. Y'all with me? Are you guys with me? Let me know if you're with me. Put a thumbs up if you're with me, at least in the chat. Like, let me put a rabbit, put something. Just let me know that I haven't lost you. Hey, Grandma Sherry. Shout out to everybody, guys. Thank you so much. See, Kate, we're going to get there. You said, wouldn't be the first dog tied to a case. Karen Reed. Oh my God. That is true, Chico. You ain't never lie. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being with me. Yeah, and Benson, like I said, not everybody agrees. Like that's, please understand. Like I get it. We just like the conversation. That's what we're here for. So, but I appreciate you coming in. And like I said, yeah, it was too soon, Chico. Don't do that. Too many damn dogs involved in these cases. I'm like, what's going on? Just be patient with us because some of us, I'm still riding the fence. I don't know. And when you have a conversation, what is it? You get more bees with honey, right? Mm. I don't know. Really? It was there? I don't even remember. I don't think so. Okay. Yes, it was. It was in the day. Yes, it was. Oh, thank you, Witch. First of all, thank you, guys. Thank you. Let me know if you got the notification, Witch. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate it. You guys don't even know the headache that I've been going through when it comes to this, like editing the video. And I'm like, am I getting everything correctly? Am I getting everything correctly, y'all? Because it's been very hard. And these filings are no joke. So thank you so much. witch for the $20. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Look at, they're calling you witchy poo. Isn't that cute? Okay. Let's get it together. Yes, Benson, I appreciate you. Y'all drop some, like I said, we're going to welcome all kinds of conversations. We may not agree with each other, but guess what? That's okay. It's not up to us to decide what's going to happen here. We're just giving commentary to this, okay? So I appreciate you. Thank you, Iron Rabbit. I appreciate you. We're getting a good idea about the headache. Gail, you understand when I was going through this, I was getting a headache. I was getting a headache. And now you guys understand why this doesn't make sense. It is. It really is. Editing the video is very hard, especially when you have a baby bunny. Yes. Okay. So CH says that I rode back through the park and came up the same trail from the park that led me out on Covina. I rode my bike south on Covina and saw a white van parked on the street. Okay. The van was parked on the east side of Covina facing north towards the park entrance. The rear doors of the van were open and I could see through the van windshield and thought the back doors open. I saw a white man inside the back of the van hitting on or punching down on something. The man had long hair that was brownish blonde. There's like a little handwriting edit there. I saw two other men standing near the back of the van. One was a tall white man and the other was a shorter Hispanic man. He could have been Mexican. I saw one of the men slam the van door in the back of the van. I didn't think anything of it at that time. 3 or 4 days later, I went back to visit the same girl at the apartment. I got to her apartment later than usual and she asked me what took so long. I told her that Covina was blocked off, so I couldn't cut across the park and had to take another route that was longer. At that point, I told her about the van that I had seen on Covina the morning when Lacey went missing. I told her I thought I saw Lacey walking her dog that morning heading into the park. We also talked about the news report saying that the house across the street from the Petersons was robbed. Around the same time, Lacey disappeared. I told my friends I remember seeing a white van parked across the street from the Petersons' house that morning, and there were some men standing around it, maybe putting things into a van. My friends immediately told her parents about what I had seen, and her dad drove us both to the Modesto police station so I can report that I saw Lacey walking the dog that morning she went missing, and also tell the police about the white van I saw. I recall at the time went to the police station, the cops were still looking for the people responsible for robbing the house across the street from Lacey's house, because the burglary had not been solved yet. I recall the police announced they caught the burglars a day or two later. When we arrived at the police station, it was late afternoon or evening. There were numerous officers and reporters outside the police station. I got out of the car and approached a detective or an officer who was heavy set and had a mustache, slicked back hair. I told him, hey, I don't know if this is going to help the search for Lacey at all, but I remember seeing Lacey walking her dog in the park that morning when she went missing. And I also told him about seeing the white van. The officer told me, we got our guy, but thank you, or something to that effect. So we left. He didn't write any of my information down. He didn't give me his card. No one contacted me. A few weeks later in 2003, I moved away from Modesto because a relative who lived out of town was able to take me in. After I moved, I did not follow the coverage of the Lacey Peterson case too much because I was focusing on other things. Well, just imagine, and if you're 17 at that time, you're not really thinking about this stuff. I certainly didn't because I was in high school, and then add in the factor that he or she's in foster care. Keep that in mind. I don't remember the name of the girl I visited the morning whose father took me to the police station or the name of her father. I recall she had an older sister who was also in high school. I think their father might have worked as a garbage collector. I have reviewed this declaration and then the person signs. The statement came, this is in the new filings, y'all. This is in the new filings. This is just one witness. Okay? Hold up, y'all. I'm sorry if I missed your comments. You guys, oh my God. All right, hold up. Give me a minute. Iron Rabbit, thank you for gifting my 5 memberships. And Wim, thank you so much again for gifting 5 memberships. Hold up. Where's my reactions? Thank you guys. If you guys got a membership from Iron Rabbit and Wim, please put a heart in the chat. Please. And thank you guys. Thank you so much. Like I said, I appreciate it, y'all. This is a headache. This is a headache. Do you guys understand? I want to know too, but like, listen, let me tell you something about the Innocence Project. All right, just so we don't get it twisted. And this is very early on in their statement when I was reviewing this. This is not like it is their job to find in their investigation enough reasonable concerns. If they did something wrong in the investigation, they're going to call it out. Then there's this watch. Oh my God, this watch. That's another thing too that it was being looked into. Now I got that on my edited video. I'm not even going to regurgitate it here because that's going to be in the edited video. But there is enough here that I would say, okay, I get where they're coming from. Their investigation looks kind of like something's up. Okay. They even interviewed like Lacey Peterson's sister, who said that she had seen her wear this kind of color clothing. She's also like, they're asking her, there's enough reasonable doubt in there to determine whether that was actually what she saw, if that makes sense. But let me go up a little bit, okay? At the very beginning of this whole motion, okay, there was something that was said that you can't just not you have to understand, okay? Let me go up a little bit more. I can't remember where it was. Sorry, y'all. There's a lot of pages. Is it here? No, it's here. And I think it's a point in which I have to talk about this, okay? Because it's a very good, well-established quote from their writing. Oh, man, I missed it. Anyways, really, what it comes down to is that there's enough reasonable doubt. Here it is, right here on their post-conviction investigation and discovery demands. Okay, we're just gonna go and like review this real quick, okay? Because it really got me thinking, and now my chat disappeared. All right, let me tell you guys what it says. On their thing, it says a post-conviction investigation into claims of actual innocence began with a review of the original investigation into the crime at issue to determine whether any evidence or leads were missed or overlooked that may support the claim of innocence. Okay. If any are found, those leads and evidence are examined to determine whether whether anything discovered, whether new or old evidence or both, that undermines the conviction that supports a claim of innocence. There is a lot, okay, that they have presented to undermine. In my opinion, if you review it, you make up your mind. Y'all got to review this paperwork, okay? I'm going to put it in the membership. Check it out, okay? Get yourself some coffee, talk about it over with your families, because I think that it's an interesting argument that they're making, okay? There's a lot. So, as set forth in Mr. Peterson's DNA motion and discovery motion, post-conviction counsel has identified numerous investigative failures committed throughout the original investigation in this case. One example, the prosecution admits that numerous eyewitnesses reported seeing Lacey walking in the neighborhood at the time after Mr. Peterson left home for the day, some of whom were never interviewed by police and most of whom were never interviewed while Lacey was missing or even prior to the trial. Despite the prosecution's effort to offer hindsight justification for why these witnesses were never interviewed, the simple truth is that those witnesses who reported seeing Lacey walking in the neighborhood should have been a top priority in an unbiased missing person investigation. Not only may those witnesses have provided information and leads to what happened to Lacey, if even one of those witness reports was credible, Mr. Peterson could not have possibly killed his wife and son. The prosecution has never disputed that fact. If this is true, if they saw Lacey Peterson, if all these witnesses saw Lacey Peterson walking that dog, you guys, he couldn't have killed her. Not at the time frame that they're putting out there. And I know, Amy, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's enough. And the headache commences now. Yeah, Amy, I'm telling you, go review it. Hey, Great T. Hey, SPTV. Welcome, guys. Sorry. I'm like, I haven't even like looked at the chat again because I've been so heavy on this. Welcome to my headache. Welcome to the headache that I was having. Yes, you're right. It's a separate branch. It's not for those that are wondering, I cannot believe the innocent. I've said this like a multiple times. I'm so glad you said this again. I've said this time and time again. This is not the same Innocence Project that's the national program. Okay. This is a separate. This is an entity separate. This is a program that's working with Cal State and they have their own forensics team. Okay. So hey that girl. Hey everybody, y'all. Welcome to my headache. And I need to go take some ibuprofen. Okay. Y'all see? Just that little that paragraph right there is enough for me to be like, wait a minute. Did people really see her walking? Is everybody gonna say, yeah, I saw her, but nobody saw her before, or at least police didn't want to interview? Okay. Y'all let me know. Thank you, Chico. I'm gonna have to take that. I gotta take some ibuprofen. Yeah, that's what I gotta do. Yeah. Here's the question. Hold up. Police make pieces fit all the time. Hold up. Shout out to frustrated user. How much of our confidence in his guilt is from media coverage? Some of you guys might have been living in the area when this went down. I know some of you guys are saying in the chat, I was living in the area when all this went down. But frustrated user, this is a great question. We are now living in a situation nowadays where social media dictates how we see a person, right? Now, in my heart, I have a lot of questions. Okay. I don't know how. I don't know where to make them in. His actions make him look very guilty. I'm gonna have to do some Excedrin or something. I was editing the video. Say no. I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna give my headache to everybody else. All 300 of you are gonna have my headache. Just joking. Shout out to you guys. But you know what, Wim? You are absolutely right. You're looking at those interviews, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on with this guy? He's just, his interviews say it all. I'm definitely going to take some tea, girl. I'm going to take some tea. Witchy woman's like, I got a band-aid on my headache, love. I just wanted to pass it on because I said, better out than in. But also, I wanted to go live and talk to you guys. Grandma Sherry, I was having a moment earlier. I was like, I can't, you guys. I don't know. I need to take a break. I gave it to you. If you get a headache, listen, if you're watching the replay, if you get a headache, let me know in the comments, please. Oh man, feel better. I'm so sorry. That shit is feel better, okay? Sorry. Y'all put some hearts for Ginny, please and thank you. Did you? I'm sorry. You said I still think he's guilty, but state needs to do a better job. I would agree with you on that. I would agree with you on that. You know, I was thinking that too. So we'll see what that is. I'm waiting. I think it's September that it's supposed to be better, right? Isn't that what they've said? Isn't that what they said? I'm just wondering. Okay, guys. I'm done. Stop talking about headaches. Y'all gonna learn to listen to me now. Look at y'all sharing headaches. You don't think he deserves a new trial? All right. Shut up. I'm on the fence. Y'all don't even know. I'm on the fence on this one. But let me tell you this. Okay. I first of all, Vincent, thank you so much for emailing me those documents. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of questions about the investigation. Before I even go there, I have a lot of questions about the investigation. And if I can't get those questions answered, I'm going to be following this. I really am, because I think it deserves to be followed. But something is telling me that it was because of their shitty investigation that, I don't know, man, something's up. It doesn't make sense. And then that's an example of a witness. You can't say that this was a child. I mean, he was 17, he was a child, but you can't say this was like this was somebody that saw what was going on and was told by the police, don't worry about it. You're fine. It's all good. I'm about to get hydrated. You said I never, yeah. I was young. I never followed it. I just remember, yeah. You said I truly don't. I can't help it. But I mean, if he has to happen, write that, girl. His wife and the baby don't get a second chance. He shouldn't either. I see. That's the thing. I agree with you on that. Like, we have to, but at the same time, I'm on the fence on this one. I don't know why. Maybe because now, I'm a mom, and I pay attention to things like that. I'm not gonna stop, but I'm gonna ask you guys this: keep an open mind. If you've made up your mind, I completely understand. But keep an open mind to hear differences of information, if that makes sense. And don't let me convince you of anything, because I'm still not really convinced all the way. I still go back and forth on, wait a minute. That's me right now. So I don't have I'm just going to do my video. It's still being edited, and then go about it that way. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna I'm gonna let you guys go. All right. I'm gonna go back to my video. I gotta go tend to baby bunny. Okay. You said we do. Look, it was like, listen, but he's still guilty. I love you, Wim. You already know. You guys already know. Let me shout out some people. Psych on the Rocks. Thank you for being a member for 2 months. Shout out to you. Wim again. Iron Rabbit again. The Witch, thank you so much, Witch. I appreciate you for the $20. Quissy B, thank you for being a member for 12 months. Shout out to you. If I didn't shout you out earlier, please excuse me, because I was so deep in the other stuff. Amber, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Miss Janie, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Shane, thank you for becoming a new member. Shout out to you. And then Miss Witch, thank you again for being a member for 5. And Amy, a member for 16 months. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Y'all are awesome. Now I gotta go. Okay. Now, she's like, I will keep an open mind, but this man is guilty. I'm going back and forth on it, girl. Okay. Let's see what happens. Now I'm wondering about this DNA. I'm not gonna lie to you. Wondering about this DNA. Thank you guys. All right. You guys have a great one. Bye, guys. Thank you for letting me vent. Bye, guys.